Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the episode 5 of India Money Live. Joining with me, Dhanesh from Mumbai. He's dealing with rains, but at the same time, we got certain headlines which we will be covering up. Pretty interesting headlines around markets, private markets, not just public markets. At the same time, we got some new developments in AI from Sam Altman. Actually, we will be covering that. And schools are getting acquired in India. So these are certain highlights of the episode which we will be covering today. Hi Dhanesh, how are you doing?
All good. How does it feel to complete 1 month on India Money Life?
Pretty nice. And I think first episode was something like we had to do a lot of stuff, which was probably one time, but now things seems to be settled, considering we just got what 4 members in the team, us, Claude, and ChatGPT. That's all.
Personal interns of mine.
Yeah. Highest value for
So,
money.
what do you think? What do you think has been like this week? Is there enough hot topics or is it a boring week?
Plenty one, I think pretty hot topics. And the first topic will be something which will be helping viewers for the next week. It's not something which is historical, like just a fact or something. We are talking about SBI mutual funds IPO, which is coming up shortly. And we will be taking this as first story. Yeah, go ahead on this.
So, SBI mutual fund manages 1 rupee out of every 6.5 rupee in the Indian mutual fund market.
That's
It
60 odd
is,
percent.
and it is the largest, like the number one AMC in India, and it's like a machine which is riding on the new financial habit of Indians, which is SIP.
So, and that's 16% of entire investment or SIP book. You're talking about the SIP book here, right?
Yes. So, like, they have around 16.21 million live SIPs, which is like 15.5% market share. And surprisingly, out of those, around 15.8 million have been running for the last 37 months.
And I think we have already seen SIP boom in last 6 years, but SIP, this SBI, I think has been doing from what 90s, right? This entire entity, right?
Yes.
Just to add it up here. Yeah, let's discuss it further. Like what's happening here. Like just introduce to the viewers like what this company actually does. We got it. It manages 16% of SIP of entire country, but just a brief over it probably will help
So, I
everyone.
think it's pretty simple. Like, it's to understand what the business actually is. It is an asset manager, and it runs across 126 schemes, like which includes equity, debt, hybrid, passive ETFs, and it just earns a fee in percentage on the money it manages, which is the AUM.
Hmm.
And it's simple, right? More the AUM, more the fees. That's the whole model. That's pretty much it for SBI mutual fund.
And talking about certain minor details, it's incorporated in 1992, and as you said, close to 16% AMC market share, as we can see. Price band is 574. Issue size is very close to 10,000 crores. And this IPO will open on 14th July. So next week, as we said, this story gonna help you for sure next week, right? And it will close on 16th July. So that's the update from SBI Mutual Fund IPO. I think it goes with the name SBI Fund Management IPO.
Right. So, like we were discussing, right, what the business is, it's simple. Investors invest in mutual fund scheme, like you have your SIPs going on.
Mm-hmm.
They charge a particular fee, which is the expense ratio or the AMC's fees, and that is the revenue model for SBI.
Cool. So they benefit from two, you can say two effects. Number one, let's assume I want to start investing and I go with SBI mutual fund. So I'm pumping money, and when I pump money, fund managers will be buying certain stocks, right? And in 3, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, whatever, let's assume whatever I invested doubles, and I keep on pumping money. So the inflows is like I am doing the inflow, but market is also going up. So AUM actually goes up with two forces. One is that market force, and one which is coming from my end. So that's the entire business model, I think, here, right?
And I think there's this particular SIP thing which is actually helping them, the SIP boom, because for an AMC asset manager, what's a nightmare, right? It's like redemptions when the market is crashing.
Mm-hmm.
But like this SIP boom that has been there has actually, like, because of the long tenure nature, has been reducing that risk to a very high level. Because every month people are pumping in money.
Right. That's what I was like. I want to go through certain figures. Our mutual fund industry has gone from 13 lakh crore to 82 lakh crore in last 10 years. That's 20% CAGR. So as you said, let's assume every mutual fund, they don't do anything. They just buy index Nifty. So Nifty is known for that 12% number. Let's assume it will deliver 12%. But as I said, the CAGR of AUM is 20%. So those two forces are actually working. Now I have a question for you. Considering like even in bear market, Nifty just crashed, right? But as you said, SIP keeps on coming. Like this pump keeps on coming from our end or whatever, whoever are investing. So if I just want to invest in markets, don't you think it's a good idea, or whether it is a bad idea to just buy AMC stocks and
I mean, you
play the
could
market?
say that you can bet on the SIP of others, right? It's like a
Right,
proxy.
right,
And
right.
that can be a very good story because you're betting on the leader also here. It's like they are leading in like passive indexes, which are like passive funds, which are basically just replicating index funds, index performance. And I think that has seen huge inflows now because it's very easy, right? Everyone says ETF lelo, or just buy the index. So that also is a very big tailwind here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. कि when Nifty falls, तो ठीक है आपका portfolio गिर जाता है, right? But as you said कि यहाँ पे SIP जा रही है, and that SIP is actually generating money for this business. Just to explain it again, this company earns from two forces, or I would say they expand their business via two mechanisms. Number one is SIP from our side, and number two is when market goes up. So when market goes down, so that one force is eliminated automatically, but one force is still kicking in, which is the SIP, right? And if our investors are mature enough, like we have seen, I think in last 2 odd years, market didn't give any good return or as such Nifty, right? But I think SIP book is still doing pretty fine. Like it's not that bad. I don't know
Yeah.
exact number, but it's doing pretty fine. So that one force is still pumping money for
I
this
mean,
company.
people, as per the data given even in the RHP, almost 15.87 million have the current SIPs on for 37 plus months. That's 3 years. So this actually helps the company, fight the downturns where, like, say when we say ki brokers make less money because it's dependent on market conditions.
Mhm.
But the huge inflow of SIP helps them have stable, like, fee income coming in.
And that's what I was thinking. So let's assume there could be a case possible. We are the most mature market in the world, and we keep our SIP pumping, same number, and market does not give any return. So we
Yeah.
will, as I said, whether that will be a worse decision or a good decision to invest in AMC instead of index fund, AMC will still be making money for you. And I get it. Maybe I don't know how it's gonna reflect on index side,
So,
but
so there's
logically it
actually,
should make money.
yes, and there's a similar story. Like I was reading today that, the biggest asset manager in the US is bigger than the biggest bank over there.
Are we talking about that company which got that conspiracy theory of owning the world, BlackRock?
BlackRock. Yeah, BlackRock like has around 9 to 10 trillion. And I think the biggest bank in US is JP Morgan, which is around 4 trillion. So it's almost 2x the size. But in India, the biggest bank is SBI, right? The balance sheet is around 70 lakh crore. And the
Mhm.
AUM here is only 12 lakh crore. So
Hmm.
we could follow the US path and where we get developed into a matured market and you never know. Like the biggest AMC could cross the biggest bank in India.
So I think it makes total sense. Like the case we were discussing, like AMC can grow a lot as we keep on hearing the story, right? Not a lot of Indians invest in markets, even at the moment. I get it. How many of us pay taxes? 2% I think. 98% does not pay taxes. So safe to assume people falling in that 98% category does not have enough money at the moment. But if India gonna grow, those people will be having certain amount of money, right? And that money will be going somewhere. And considering people are not able to buy a house, right? I think if you buy a house in India, and if you rent a house, the gap between this home loan EMI and the rent is like, I think your rent is 33 or 30% of your EMI. So now a lot of people also think that it makes mathematically a lot of sense to rent a house. So that 70% or gap needs to go somewhere. So whether it will be going in buying, you can say, expensive pasta from somewhere, but there will be certain portion for sure for stocks or markets. So that money gonna flow in markets for sure.
So actually, SBI management itself, I was reading that they're saying only 2% of SBI's own customers are investing in the fund. So their distribution is also like pretty much solved, right? Tap into their own customer market, which is fully untapped right now.
And I was like, I think there is one AMC. I don't know whether it's the oldest AMC which is listed. HDFC AMC. I think it was listed in 2018
Yes.
at 1800 or something. Nifty 50 during that day was trading at, in August 2018, was trading somewhere close to 11,300. From there on, like Nifty has delivered 112% return. HDFC AMC has delivered 204% return. So that's the good part of the hypothesis which we were talking. Actually, it has doubled the return. So I think that theory can play out well. It's just people need to enter at the right valuation, maybe, and that is the toughest thing
Even
to
in
answer.
the recent case, ICICI Prudential AMC listed, and it's doing pretty decently after the IPO. So
Yeah, my brother holds it. He didn't sell it. It's going up only. So that's been the case. And yeah, what's
so let's
happening here?
discuss another key thing that you must be wondering, right? It's making so much money, the profits are growing exponentially. Why does it need to do an IPO? So it's an completely off of a sale where SBI wants to unlock the value from the listing on the exchange and get benefit of getting valued as a separate AMC. And they have done that before with SBI cards as well, SBI life insurance. So the entire structure was for the AMC business was SBI and Amundi were holding 98% before the IPO. And now they are selling almost 20 crore shares and their holdings are coming down to 88%. And they are making bumper returns as their cost of acquisition is very low because they are the promoters. So yeah, what do you think of the 3800x and the 132x that they are making?
I think such kind of returns are only possible when you are the founder of the company. Like, it's that simple. And the thing is, as I read in that document, that SBI started in 1992. In 1992, people used to think LIC is something which is smart investment, and Nifty was not even there. I think it started in 1995 at 1,000 odd levels, and these guys started this management, SBI fund management, in 1992. I think shares, people used to buy shares like on documents, and currently what we do is we press buy button and in a minute or something we just sell it, right? Those days it used to take days to settle. Right. And before it gets settled, you never know what's the live movement of your price. At the moment you can get stock price from anywhere, right? For free. So even in those days, if they started such kind of business, I think they deserve this 3800x return for sure. I think one more company was there, UTI AMC, right, which also started. So these guys were like, I don't know whether those days they used to offer certain other schemes, but for sure, entering into a country in 1992 or early 90s when people didn't have a lot of money, no digitalization or as such, and telling them, look, invest, think long term and all. Like, it's really hard to teach people when they don't have money, like that, if you invest or save some money, it will change your life. It's really hard. And
Right.
so these guys have been doing it for 34 years. And India has moved from FD, LIC policy to mutual funds, direct stocks, crypto, everything. And they have seen everything, right? So they deserve this 3800x return for sure.
So also one thing I need to note here is I want all to note is there is shareholder quota in SBI mutual fund. So every person who holds even one SBI share before 7th of July, that is the RHP date, you will be getting benefit of shareholder quota in the IPO that is opening.
So this is the thing we are delivering with bit of delay, but it just came actually. I think they declared it in a rush. It's not like geo platforms, right? At least that's what I think. It just came out of nowhere, but it's a good size IPO. I don't know how it's gonna open, but if people will be applying, people will be getting certain amount of allocation, because currently what we are seeing, like some sub 1,000 crore IPOs, and because people were sitting on this lot of cash for a while. I remember, I think 2-3 years ago, there used to be like we used to save money, like we need to arrange money to apply in multiple IPOs. So at the moment, just few IPOs with mini size. So good to see certain 9,000, 10,000 crore IPO. Hopefully we will get allocation, and let's see how it opens.
Yes.
And we will be taking questions from all the viewers, and thank you very much for joining the stream. You can keep on pushing your question. We will be taking it. And there is one more question coming in from a viewer asking, where is Harshit Bohra? So we will be having a special guest appearance again, as we have started the trend, and he will be joining us soon while we will be covering a credit card related story.
So, like you're saying, credit card. Why do you think it's a hot story, first of all?
Yeah, a lot is going on. So people used to fear credit card earlier, and now it's the hot trend. Have you seen the lines in airport and all, like for free food and all?
The lounge
I think
lines.
everybody right now, people are selling 2,000 rupee clothes for EMI, and you will get certain discounts. So we are seeing that boom of credit card in India. But the reason why we are inviting the expert we will be adding in soon is because now that credit card trend seems to be topping out, like people are more disciplined, and seems like I would like to add something here, like, yeah, that's the data which we have. Yeah. So if you see the boom of credit card in India, we had just 5.8 crore cards, and right now we have somewhere around 12 crore cards just in 6 years. And this is instrument which costs you 40 odd % interest if you fail to repay your bill or something. And HDFC Bank is the top issuer here. Like HDFC Bank has issued 2.46 crore credit cards. Second is SBI again. SBI got brilliant distribution, I think. And so I think to summarize this up, right now we witnessed a nice bull run. And at the moment, banks are cutting out the rewards which we used to get from credit cards. And to cover this up, we have Mr. Harshit Bohra. We will be inviting him soon, and he will be joining up in a while.
I have first a question for you.
Yeah.
Don't you think the good news and the bad news are in this one sentence, that Indians are basically comfortable to borrow now?
I think credit card is the worst borrowing instrument if you have to use. This should not be normalized.
Technically, it is a way of borrowing, right? You're buying any goods or services and paying after 90 days. So people have got comfortable with that, which is good and bad.
I think in credit card case, it is pretty bad, probably. But yeah, let's add Harshit Bohra to break this down further. Yeah, hi Harshit, how are you doing?
Yeah, doing good, doing good. Hi Sumit, hi Dhanesh. Great to be here.
Hi, I hope all good.
Yes, yes, it is. It is.
Yeah, we got stuck in this thing. You were explaining stocks and all, but we want someone who is expert at breaking down which is more risky instrument, credit cards. At least it seems like. Like, what do you think
So
of this?
it's like the FNO of the financial system.
Or transaction, you can say.
Yeah, that was the mentality basically when I got started with the credit card journeys myself itself. So again, I also come hail from a business family. Basically, my father is a businessman, and from the basically youngest days, we have been hearing this that please credit card, don't take a credit card. Bill आएगा तो भरते भरते भरता निकल जाएगा types, and then they will charge you means hidden fees, this and that. So my first basically tryst with credit card started with Axis Bank itself. So right out of the MBA, I joined Axis Bank as a full-time employee, and all the employees basically get a free credit card when they join, basically with their salary accounts, right? So
Hmm.
actually, I was very adamant, or well, let's say averse to taking that card as well. But then the sales agent came in and said, "Sir, ले लो, कुछ नहीं है, free में दे रहा हूँ, आप ले लो please. Use करना नहीं जमे तो उसको फाड़ के फेंक देना." So this was the background. So I took that credit card and it gave like 0.25% returns, which was great back then. So
Right.
I 25 paisa returns on every rupee spent. Sorry, every 100 rupees spent, that is. And the best part about that credit card was that you get a free ticket for 250 rupees. So yeah, that was the selling point. I was sold, okay, theek hai, if nothing, then monthly I'll see a movie, nothing more than that. So that's
Hmm.
where it got started. And I think so we were talking about risks. So yeah, means our mentality is like that. Yes, we think that it is quite risky. Of course, if you don't pay on time, it's the worst instrument to borrow money from, because it will charge you like 40%, 40, 45, even 50% interest if you are delaying, if you're delaying your payments, right? So yeah, that's about it on the risk side. So yeah, means we can take ahead, means as you would like, what we would like to hear, and
So
if you want to
Harshit,
continue the story as well, we can do that. Yeah.
firstly, I want to start as a Sindhi, I don't like paying money for nothing, right? So how do you get yourself to pay for these highly priced joining fee cards? Like, why don't I just go for the lifetime free cards, right? Why do I pay money to use it?
So in that case, we are distant brothers. So basically, I am a Marwari. So even I would not like to pay if I'm not getting, let's say, at least 2 3 times the return if I'm paying for that, right? So again, just continuing on that story, you get pulled in by that credit card that yes, you are spending today, you are paying after 50 days, 50 days of free money. Then
Hmm.
next step is generally you then see like what's available in the market now, and of course still you are reluctant to pay any fees on that. Then you come across this credit card called as Amazon Pay ICICI credit card, like which is the
I have
highest
this.
selling, yeah, which is the
Yes.
highest selling credit card, and anyone who has a credit card might have that, or at least might have had that earlier, means at some point in time. So it's a simple credit card. You spend on Amazon Pay, you spend on Amazon, you get 5% back, as simple as that, right? And who doesn't want this 5% back, and that too for a lifetime free credit card? You are not paying anything for it.
Right.
So even if you are, let's say, buying during the sales, so even once, right? Let's say you are shopping for 10,000 rupees, 500 rupees at least spent, which was not possible earlier, right? And if you pay on time, if you clear all your bills, there would be no additional charge at all, right, on that. So of course, that's where we get started on. Then for me personally, the things actually turned, the main moment when it turned was basically when Axis launched this product called as Magnus, right?
Hmm.
So this was the turning point in my credit card basically career, let's say. So so that the card carried a fees of 11,800 rupees a year, right? So if you see, if I'm not willing to pay even a rupee, so why would I pay, let's say, 11,800 rupees a year, right?
So
So
sorry to interrupt. Like, I have a
yeah,
question.
yeah.
Like, did you make more money than 10,000 SIP? Like, what would have happened if you had just invested this 10? into some index fund? Like, did you
Oh
get more
yeah,
returns
that
out of
that
it?
definitely yes for that, and that's why the topic for today, that's the devaluation which is happening. So back when Axis launched this credit card, right? They were giving you 25% miles back when you spend 1 lakh rupees a month, right? So
Okay.
even if you spend once 1 lakh rupees in a calendar month, you will get
Hmm.
25,000 points back. Now there is a math around what to do of that points, etc., etc. But I'm telling you that at least it is value. Its value should be 1 rupee, if not more, right? So
Hmm.
straight away 25% back. Now there were
Okay.
some kind of spends which were also earning you 50%. They were also earning you
Okay.
80%
Okay.
during that time. So I think so that would have answered your question that एक महीने में 80% तो कोई भी म्यूचुअल फंड नहीं दे पाएगा.
मैं कह रहा हूँ,
So
I think you started in 2000, what, 23?
2019 was my first credit card, and this was the turning point back in 2022, if I'm not wrong.
So हम, I think 80% हम 2022 से ही नहीं बना पा रहे हैं टोटल. एक महीना नहीं.
True, 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 true. So
Cool. So,
that's where the fees part comes in, I guess. That might answer your questions. And then of course, as we went ahead, I started collecting credit cards, and then started this passion projects called as a Cards Wizard on X, that is Twitter, basically. And
mhm.
God have been kind to basically have a wonderful community of 25,000 people there. And yeah, so we started it as a passion, and now I have right around 27, 28 active credit cards currently. So yeah,
Wow.
it's a passion for me.
So it's like your stock in your way of stock portfolio.
Yeah,
So like,
right.
So
how many cards do you hold at the moment?
It should be 27 to 28 active, if I'm not wrong. I guess inactive would be more than 50, if I'm not wrong, total.
Okay, total 50. Okay. But you must be using some 3 to 5 or maybe what these cards, right? And
Yeah,
your day-to-day stuff, right?
that's correct. So again, Pareto here as well. Basically, 20% of cards getting 80% of spend. So top five credit cards getting majority of the spends. Yes.
Fine. I think that's your hobby. Like, it's not necessary as we see those wallets and all ki 30 card rakho to hi you will be optimizing it or getting all pennies. कि
Not at all. Not at all.
सारे
Means
दुनिया
if
के
you
जितने भी ऑफर है वो 30 कार्ड कवर कर लेंगे, right? It's just your hobby, right?
yeah,
Like
exactly. And of course
people
this
collect
is not
things,
even, yeah, exactly. As you were saying, people collect things. This is my
right?
passion of collecting credit cards, right? So
Right, right.
if you even want to optimize, you even can optimize by having maximum of two credit cards for yourself. If you are not having that much spends, if you can even optimize by one credit card. So the point is basically for every person the journey is different, but yeah, that's the long and short of it. Basically, yeah, it's not
so
everyone
I
should
think
have all 30 credit cards, but at least yeah.
that's the thing where I have a very question where I've been thinking since a lot of time. Is there like a bifurcation कि अगर salaried employee है तो उसके लिए ये cards अच्छे हैं, and अगर कोई
Hmm.
businessman है तो उसके लिए ये अलग set of cards अच्छे हैं. तो ऐसा कुछ
Right.
bifurcation है?
No, so basically it depends on your spends rather than your basically background, right? So your profession. So if you are
Okay.
spending more on personal things, right? If you're spending more on, let's say, luxury travel, you're spending more on, let's say, buying stuff online, you're spending more on offline stuff, for example, right? So of course you will go via XYZ credit card. But if you have a spends on your business side, right? If you are a professional, you are paying a lot of advance tax, right? If you're a professional trader in for that matter, and if you're paying
Hmm.
a lot of advance tax, there's a credit card out there which will give you 16% back on your tax payments, right?
I tried that. They didn't give me.
Yeah,
It's
I think
BizBlack,
so.
right?
Yeah, I think so. I helped you get that, but yeah, you
Right,
didn't
right.
get it.
Like, just for everyone, like Harshit is actually my credit card advisor. Like, I was not into this game, so he introduced me in this how to redeem rewards and all. So I was not into it. I was just using Amazon card and that's all earlier. So yeah, please carry on.
Yeah, so back to that, basically, if you have business spends, of course, you take a business credit card, right? If you are a professional, if you are running a shop, if you are having business spends, right? You take a business kind of a credit card. There are multiple right now. And of course, one example which I gave, which is HDFC BizBlack, which is the best business credit card, right? And of course, whenever, so if you put your head into making your mutual fund portfolio, right, it will be personalized to you, right? Means where are you in your stage, how do you want to save your money, right? Of course, not an apple to apple comparison, but you should also have a little bit of thought on your credit card portfolio as well, right? Even if
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
take one credit card, even if you take two credit cards, just think about your own spends first, right? If you're dining out a lot, there should be a certain credit card which would give you a higher return, right? If you are ordering online a lot, which is generally a basically city kind of a person, right? City and means a person living in a nuclear family, for example, in a city, and basically is a salaried person, right? Eating out a lot, basically ordering from online, can be electronics, can be anything, right? So these are one cohort of people which might be benefiting from a certain credit card, right? So knowing your spends is the first criteria of getting your credit card.
Hmm.
Right.
It should be this way. It should not be like a credit card is offering 30% discount on some premium cafe or dining out or something, and then I became from I'm that kind of person who eat paratha at Sunday, ठीक है ढाबे पे जाते हैं, and now suddenly I just shift my entire personality क्योंकि मेरे को 30% off दिख रहा है. So that should
Exactly,
not be
that
the case,
shouldn't be.
right? It should be the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
way.
yeah, कान ऐसे नहीं
I
पकड़ना
should
है.
I should find a company जो मेरे को ढाबे पे off कैसे दे सकते हैं, right?
Exactly.
Okay, okay. And so, as you said, like how much one can save from HDFC BizBlack, like per year? You said they also give you reward on taxation. You just pay
Right,
tax. This is
right.
something you have to do it, like, or you will end up in jail, right? So, how do you save money even from tax, and how much
Exactly.
do we get?
Exactly. So it's kind of a spend, or let's say expense, which you have to do basically. If you can do it advancedly, or you can pay it with, let's say, at the very end, but you have to do that, right? So for first 56,000 of tax payment, it kind of provides you a 16% back. When I say 16%, it's kind of a form in a reward points, right? So
Hmm.
basically, generally these rewards points can be valued at 1 rupee. So that's the first thing. So for 56,000 of tax payment a month, you are getting around 7,500 plus 50, so around 9,500 points back, right? That is a
Hmm.
monthly
Okay,
on the 56,000 payment. If you are
fine.
spending more, of course, after that 56,000 payment, you are getting 3.3% more, right?
But that's a sweet spot.
Yes, the
Hmm.
sweet spot would be 56,000 rupees a month. And
Fine.
then post that, it is just 3.3%, which is not even just, I guess. It's still free money with on the spend which you have to do anyways, right? Now I'll
Right.
just add a few things here as well. Basically, if you do this, let's say regularly for 12 months, now you amass like 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh points in your kitty, right? In the BizBlack kitty. You just,
Hmm.
as an example, transfer it to Singapore Airlines, right? The
Hmm.
transfer ratio is 1:1, right? And you can get at least, if not more, three business class flights one way, basically, to Singapore,
Okay.
right?
Wow.
Okay.
So which would anyways should cost per person around 1 to 1.5 lakh, if not less, right? At least 1.5 lakh per person.
So,
So
so it's like I am getting paid to travel to Singapore to just avoid jail, right? Paying
yeah,
taxes, right?
exactly, exactly.
So HDFC is telling me like, okay, you have been a good citizen, now go to Singapore. So, and I think you also did this. I was going through your profile. I think you did this Singapore airline suites, and like, how's your experience? And like you were talking about, transfer ratio
Q
and
suites, I
points.
think.
Like I think those guys must be having their own currency, right? So like, what was the value of that entire experience, and how was the experience? First of all, we will dig deeper later into how you accumulated points and all.
Sure.
But how was your experience with that?
So basically, I would say that it is the basically pinnacle of flying commercial airlines, right? So
Hmm.
this is as close as you are flying a, let's say, a private jet, right? So what happens there? So
I think there is some
Yes.
lag. Can someone please confirm? Like, is this something which only we are able to spot?
I think so.
Or is Harshit lagging still?
Uh, did the connection break in between?
Yeah, it's still lagging actually. Now, now we can spot you. Yeah, please go ahead now. I think.
Uh, is it better now? Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, much better now.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. So we were covering the story that HDFC
Of
told you to
Singapore
go to
Airlines.
Singapore, or maybe some other card.
Yeah. So basically, it's kind of a double bed in the sky, right? So you and your partner can enjoy the entire suite for yourself, right? They also have a lounge kind of seats inside that space as well. Actually, we are non-drinkers, but they have the best of whiskeys, the best of champagnes over there, and the best food across the planet, basically on the flight itself. And it's kind of a date between you and your partner or anyone you are traveling with, basically, in these skies. So the best way, basically, you can redeem points, and this experience, generally, if you pay by your own pocket, should not cost less than 6.5 7 lakh rupees for two person.
For two people.
Two people, yes.
That's from Mumbai to Singapore.
Singapore, or either ways, mine from Singapore I did it from Singapore to Delhi, yeah.
So that's just one way or two way, like
The
which you
just one
did.
way for two people.
Okay, that costs 6 lakhs. So I
Six
will not be
lakhs
able. I will not be able to travel in this by doing 10,000 SIP for sure. I need to do
Yeah.
something else with my life. Fine,
So
fine. So it is.
five,
So
five, five
this
years
this
stagger.
experience also proves that, right? Everyone says, your credit card bro will tell you how they managed to get that free sandwich at the airport or a free lounge visit by spending 20 lakhs a year. But you are
But there
traveling
are
first
people like
class
him. But there are people like him who are using it to max level probably.
and travel like people who probably do it once in the lifetime. It's a once in a lifetime experience. So yeah, it's amazing to hear.
Absolutely, and it's something which needs to be experienced, basically. So even if you see, so if you go to, we started the discussion from the large lines in the lounge itself, and here, when you travel from Singapore, it's a private lounge for you, right? At any given moment, there won't be more than 6 to 8 people in that entire lounge, right? There
So
is a
we don't need
sleeping
to
area
form that
inside.
line. That's not the case there.
Yeah.
like like
Exactly.
I spot this thing. It has happened also with me, like at certain airports, like I think at Lucknow airport or something. They had very limited amount of cards, so I was holding Regalia Gold. So it's a respectable card, not that premium, but you stand in line and then it gets rejected. It's like, so you don't do that here, right?
Exactly.
It's
And
okay.
I think so it can be a good segue to our devaluation topic as well.
Yeah, because now I think those lines are still there, but rejections are increasing probably, right?
Exactly.
Just one more question I wanted
Yeah,
to ask around the Singapore things. Like, I think it costs you, like the value of that experience is somewhere close to 6 lakh if you pay from your pocket, right?
that's correct.
So, but the points you must have accumulated and transferred to Singapore Airlines, their own currency or whatever they have, right? Like, how much you must have spent to accumulate these points, like some
Uh,
estimate to just get the return on spend.
right. So again, depends on your spends and basically how you would get there. There are multiple ways to get there, right? So I had actually done a means I can pin that on my Twitter profile as well. I had done analysis of 5 types of spends, and on 5 different credit cards you can do yourself and achieve this, right, for yourself. So the easiest was, if I'm not wrong, it was Infinia plus BizBlack, and you could have gotten it by doing this for 5 to 6 months regularly. A specific type of spend, and it was under, again, if my calculation is right, it was under 4 to 5 lakhs of spends, which
That's
you
all.
were getting. Yeah, that's all.
Wow.
on a specific kind of a spend. Yeah, on Infinia and BizBlack, and you amass enough points for two people to have this experience.
So this is basically a multi-bagger for the credit card.
डबल पैसा डबल 25 दिन में नहीं बट 5 महीने में
5 महीने में पैसा डबल. Yes. So
पैसा
again,
डबल
and it's
बट
an
एक्सपीरियंस की फॉर्म में आउटपुट आ रहा है
right. And here I
एंड
would
दैट्स
like
नाइस
to also, yeah, I would also like to say something that basically these are the instruments which I use now for myself to experience few things which of course I won't pay by my pocket anytime. Right. Matlab, these are the basically credit cards. If I am spending right now on credit card, I would use that reward point or anything around that credit card to make stuff happen which would have generally not happened
Right.
means if, yeah. So that's about it. So I do not assign a savings value or a returns value, just a experience value on it.
it's like experiencing premium things in the world for free and you were anyways doing those spends, right? So it's like that,
Exactly. Right.
right? And
So
that's
I
how
think
actually I also
this is also like
also
not possible without paying those joining fees, right? That answers that question also.
Exactly. Yes. That's where the joining fees comes into play. You at the very T0 moment, right? When you are applying for the credit card, you know the fee beforehand, right? And there are ways to actually means for majority of the credit cards to waive off that fee as well if you spend X amount of your money, right? So even if you, so for example, if you are having a wedding, right? If you are having,
Hmm.
let's say, a big purchase which is coming around, like a credit, a car purchase, right? If you're doing a 20 lakh car purchase, why not think about putting it on your credit card, right? There are
Yeah.
credit card even today after all of this halabulu on the Twitter and everywhere. There are still credit cards which will give you blended 10% back, right? When I say
Okay.
blended, basically on this entire spend you will get around 10 to 11% back, which is like 2.5 lakh of points back, right? If you are doing this higher spends. So if you have those higher spends, why to actually go via UPI route or a NEFT route? Why not just do it once?
So I think what I'm able to understand, like I think I also have been using credit cards for 2-3 years in a systematic way. You can say it's just I don't get such premium cards at the moment, but surely I will be getting them soon. So the thing is, I think the right way to use credit card is to use it like debit card, and
Perfect.
don't bother a lot about what's your limit and all. Bother about what's your expenses and what's the best way to just use it.
Exactly.
I think that's a right playbook to use any credit card, and whatever comes is just free, right? I mean, let's assume there is a restaurant which is selling certain dish, and they are like, we will be giving shakes for free, and you wanted to eat that dish anyways. You were hungry, right?
Exactly.
You were on a date, and you are getting shakes for free. That's fine. I will take it. So
Exactly.
I think I think that's the right playbook. And also on that thing, you said you experienced certain things which probably you would have hesitated, even despite having money, maybe not
Agreed.
thinking it needs to break that barrier, right? It's still in our brain. Monetary wise is a different thing. You still have money in your pocket, but still that barrier comes. And I think that's how, as I said, Harshit is my credit card advisor, and that's how I experienced my first Taj hotel experience. So I was also using a card, Plat Travel. Just did my tax payment. Luckily, I was making money in markets, and free stay. Yeah, that's been the story.
That was a great write up as well. I read that.
Yeah. So that's the right way to use credit card, I think. That's
And of
how
course,
I.
just to add, just pay everything on time basically. Do not even
Hmm.
leave 500 rupees also on your credit card unpaid. Just pay it at the fullest and then there would be no issues.
Yeah, just to
Okay.
add up on this, if you understand power of compounding, market compounds at 12% and you are happy, right? This interest penalty compounds at 44%. 40 to
That's a
48, I don't know. That's the number. And when you run this in your compounding calculators, it will probably say, look, we can't do that. Sorry. It's that high. The growth is such. Yeah, Dhanesh, you were adding something.
Yeah. So I was saying that don't you think like because of this awareness, the cards are getting devalued because people are not paying those interest, the 40% late interest.
Yeah.
Apps like
Yeah.
Cred and all, because you have 27 cards. How do you manage payments on most of them, right? So is that also a big factor? Like everyone is getting aware?
Yeah. Again, basically you guys would be more aware about this, but the only listed player in this space is like SBI credit cards, right? SBI cards.
Yeah,
So
right.
if you will see back in 2019-20, they used to have like 35 to 40% revolver rate. Not 40, I think so, 35%. So every 1 in 3 person was revolving his line, his or her line, right? So by revolving, what I mean, if you are spending 1,000 rupees on your credit card, you are just paying the minimum amount due, which is 5% generally. So you are paying 50 rupees, and you are just carrying over that 950 rupees balance to the next month, right? So you are paying the interest on that 950 rupees of your spends, right? So this number was every 1 in 3 person was doing it earlier. Now if you see as of today, it has dropped down to 20-22%, if I'm not wrong, right? So this number has gone down up 1 in 5% now, right? So uh, that is the first profitability hit, of course. Then secondly, you will see basically all of these credit cards were giving free lounge accesses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So earlier you used to get these free lounge accesses, and this is of course a business, and business has to pay for it, right? So approximately, I think so, per lounge access it's charging you like 900 rupees per card. Again, this is based on dream folks commentary, if I'm not wrong. So they are charging like 900 rupees per lounge visit to the credit card issuer, right? So even if a person is visiting 4 to 5 times a year to that to a lounge, it's almost a burden of 5,000 rupees per credit card, and all that too on a lifetime free credit card, right?
Hmm.
These are the two factors. And then third is of course banks being very means providing let's say rewards for means a long time, higher rewards for a longer time, right? So again, that also hit their PNL. So somewhere down the line someone saw that PNL and then came to a conclusion that a few things have to be cut down now, right? So now that's why you see this noise again and again, be it on Instagram, be it on Twitter. And if you're following this space even bit closely, you will see this noise every week that this credit card is removing lounge access now, that credit card has limited the points earnings now. So all these kind of things have started to crop up now. So that's
Hmm.
the background about that. Yeah.
Understood.
and and I was watching SBI cards as you were mentioning that people are getting smarter. SBI card has delivered 40% negative 40% return from listing, and these guys were listed at 1,000 odd rupees in 2020, and right now it's trading at 611 rupees. So 40% you have lost if
Right.
you are holding SBI, because there are some smart people like you probably who used
And
card sensibly and told everyone that use card sensibly, and that's a good thing.
yeah,
And
and
so,
this I
sorry for
guess
the
again
shareholders.
start again start this I guess started post COVID with the with these things became mainstream in the basically content side as well, right? Basically everyone started to say that yes, please pay your credit card bills in full, do not carry that even five,
Yeah.
even 1,000 rupees kind of a balance to the next month. So again, yeah, that's the impact, and that's slowly cropping in the numbers as well.
Fine, fine. And we got one question also in comments. So somebody
So
is
I
holding
think first,
7.
like before we tell that, I think we're coming to the most awaited part. Like people were really waiting to, speak to Harshit and get his views on credit cards, and also I think we should finally take all of them up. Everyone can drop their queries on the comment section on X and as well as YouTube, and we'll be taking all of them one by one.
Right.
Yes,
So
Sumit.
the first question, there is a guy and he got 74,000 Magnus points, but it's blocked. And he has provided invoice for all payments probably. And he's saying कि ये normal Magnus था, not M4B. I think it's
Okay.
Magnus for Burgundy
Magnus for
account.
Burgundy. Okay.
So how he can move on from here on, like
So
74,000 Magnus points.
so unfortunately there are two fights he or she needs to do now. Basically fight with the bank first and take it to the PNO level, right? I can help with the email IDs if required, means if you can reach out, or I can type it here as well. So you can basically start fighting with them, provide their invoices, etc., etc. And once of course you are getting still a negative response from your bank itself, then you escalate it to RBI, right? RBI
Hmm.
has this beautiful mechanism where you can complain against any financial institution of regarding to, let's say, talking specifically about credit cards, right? If you are facing any issues with your credit cards, if your reward points are blocked due to no reason, no mistake of your own, in case if you are not getting the reward points correctly, if you had asked to close your credit cards but it's still open after 30 days, you can ask for compensation, you can ask for RBI to intervene in this case, right? So
Hmm.
that's the fight basically, and then hope for the best that you have enough evidences to get that unblocked.
Fair enough. I think this should
Correct.
help him, and he gets those 74,000 points back. So we got one more. Like, what are the best cards for food order or dining out?
Yeah, the most simplest one comes to mind is HDFC Swiggy. So it's a
Hmm.
co-branded credit card with HDFC and Swiggy as a partnership. You get around 10% cashback on your orders on Swiggy. You get, I guess, 5 to 10% on your dining out orders as well. So this is a great starter credit card as well. Generally, many people get it lifetime free as well. But even then, the fees is not too high, and it is still recommended. Yeah.
Fine, fine. Dhanesh, you got any questions?
So I think someone is asking this, which is actually very unique. That what would be your 90-day roadmap for someone who wants to become a trusted credit card creator on X?
Creator. So yeah, basically, right now in the era of AI, uh, getting content out is pretty easy, but getting actual authentic content out is really difficult right now, right? So basically, you have to have your own experiences, you have to have your own basically journey which you are trying to portray on X, and not like just keep Claude and Gemini researching on a stuff and then printing anything which is getting you out there. So first you have to learn yourself basically. Even I did that, means from the start basically. uh, I made myself knowledgeable and then started to provide whatever little bit of knowledge I gained around the lines, and then that is kind of a snowball in any kind of content creation, I guess, right? So when you are starting up, you won't even get 100 views. Then of course there could be a few days when your tweets or your content get basically higher number of views, and then you take it from there. So yeah, authentic content still has value, still adds
Hmm.
value. Yeah.
Right.
And just a short answer on this. What's the best way to optimize 2 lakh M4B reward points? Is this Magnus for Burgundy or?
So depends on where you want to travel. You can go to Japan in Japan Airlines basically as a you can get up to 4 tickets in this 2 lakh points, 4 business class tickets from Delhi or Bangalore, right?
Fine. That's
And either you can do that, and again coming to Singapore Airlines, you can get around 3 to 4 Singapore Airlines tickets as well, business class.
fine. I think that's from the comment section. And now I have just one personal question. Like recently, I saw, I think the oldest premium card of India is HDFC Infinia, probably. It's the
Yeah.
oldest premium card. And I think these guys just launched a new thing that, you know what, we are giving you a card. Now you need to spend 18 lakhs, else we will take it back. How do you read
Right.
this thing? What is this
So
thing?
again, they have taken the burden of people who are not spending much on their credit cards for a long time now. As you said, it is the longest running premium program in the in the
Hmm.
country currently, and they have taken their burden, and then now again they are seeing then PNL, and then now they are putting a full stop with that, boss. If you're not spending X amount of money, we don't require you, right? Because this is kind of a premium product. If you're not giving us enough money back, of course we won't be having your burden. So for example, for me also, I was not doing 18 lakhs definitely on Infinia. I was just using it for voucher purchases which used to give 16% back, right?
Hmm.
And all that. So again, HDFC started to draw a line there, and I believe, I think it's great for people who are spending. But yeah, of course, if you didn't have spends, then I believe this is the last year with Infinia, more or less.
And you have already recovered your 10,000 fee with 6 lakh worth experience, I think. Yeah. So you can say, yeah, it's okay, fine, take it. Right, because this is weird, right?
It
Like
definitely hurts. Definitely, basically, it's the only dream card which everyone has, right? So again,
Yeah.
no,
so
I mean
this definitely.
like it's little weird that it used to be like कि अगर आप 5 लाख spend कर रहे हो तो आपकी फीस नहीं लेंगे, but it's like gun on head कि 18 लाख करो वरना कार्ड दे दो. Right?
It's true. I believe means yeah. Again, at the end of the day, they are running a business and they want to make money out of it. If you're not giving them money and if you're not bringing enough to the table, and of course
Right,
you will be let go of.
right. But this is the first time I'm seeing such kind of
Yeah,
scheme. Interesting. Let's see whether other bank follow-ups or not.
and
Dhanesh, you
of
got
course
any question? Yeah,
to
yeah,
follow
please.
up, basically they are doing even worse. They are capping your reward points now. Multiple things they have done after saying that you have to spend 18 lakhs and making it difficult to spend those 18 lakhs now even more. So yeah, we
Hmm.
can discuss it offline more, but yeah, that's how it is.
So I think I have
Fine.
one personal question as well. Like most of my expenditure is either food, movies, and travel.
All on cash. He's Sindhi.
So if I had to like choose just like one lifetime free and one paid card, which one would you recommend? Like just two.
Lifetime free is the easiest. Basically, you just take Amazon Pay and just start spending on it. That's the simplest answer out there. And of course, if you are starting just now and just having a lifetime free credit card, you won't be paying like say 10,000 or 20,000 directly, right, for a fee. So you will see what's your other expenditure is and what you want to get out of it. So as a starter, I would just recommend, let's say, a cashback credit card to add on to it. Even it can be HDFC Swiggy, it can be SBI cashback, as simple as that.
Understood.
Fine, fine. So just final question for you, Harshit. It was nice. And our final question is actually, you got 27 odd cards just for hobby, right? But
Yeah.
what are top two, three cards where your most of the spends are there? Like,
First is Magnus Burgundy. Majority of
mhm.
the spends go there. Uh, Basically, that's also a 35,000 rupees, 36,000 rupees credit card fee a year. So majority of the spends go there. Earlier, it also used to be second and third is Infinia and BizBlack. Basically, these are the three cards where primarily the spends go.
Fine, fine. Thank you. So
Understood.
these are the ones out of those 27s.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else from your side, like any advice or any playbook to navigate in this year because cards are getting devalued?
Basically, just get started. Take a credit card means it's not a bad instrument. Just learn about it, just understand about it. You don't have to go knee deep into it. Just get started with it. So again, even if you spend 2%, 5%, again, it's free money. Why not take it?
Hmm. Fair enough. I think we have covered everything. And my
Yes.
friend who just spends in cash also got certain advice that he can also travel to Singapore if he starts spending on credit cards. Thank you very much, Harshit, for
Thank you so
joining
much,
us
Harshit.
tonight
Thanks a
and
lot for
answering
having me.
all the
Thanks a lot.
questions for us.
It was great. Yep.
We will have you again. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
I
Cool.
think that was super insightful. Gave me motivation for spending more money.
Right, right. I mean, good points that paying bill and optimizing spends are the first priority. Rest of these things comes later. Those are the main things which people actually miss. So covered everything, I think. We also got certain questions from previous segments. Actually, we will be taking them right now. Just allow us a second. So we got what will be the valuation of SBI mutual fund after IPO and what's a fair price? I don't think so. We will be commenting on this or even allowed to comment on this. Even SBI cannot comment on this. So, one more question. You can take this. Out of all AMC listed till date, Nippon Asset Management India is an outperformer in terms of stock price. Are they doing anything different from other players?
Yeah, I think it's simple. Earnings growth, just compare their earnings growth with the other companies, and also the base was smaller, right? Like they were a smaller AMC in terms of size as well, and their earnings growth has been phenomenal, like compared to the other industry peers. So that's pretty much the answer.
Fair enough. Apart from that, what other question we missed? It's gonna be a little live stream, a long live stream, but that's fun. Like we are.
So
Just
one guy
scanning
asked, is there any room left for move in SBI AMC after listing? Honestly, I think such big IPOs tend to be better for listing day pops and gains. But again, we can't predict how it's going to happen. Like in case it starts going up, we'll also be probably buying it.
And one last question also for me. Okay, रुपए, वीजा और मास्टरकार्ड में प्रैक्टिकल डिफरेंस क्या है एक इंडियन यूजर्स के लिए? सो रुपए, वीजा, मास्टरकार्ड आर द नेटवर्क्स जिसके ऊपर क्रेडिट कार्ड ऑपरेट होते हैं. सो आई थिंक इनके ऊपर ट्रांजैक्शन होती है एंड इनके ऊपर कार्ड, मतलब इस नेटवर्क के ऊपर कार्ड इश्यू होते हैं. सो अलग अलग नेटवर्क्स हैं तीनों. आई थिंक रुपए शायद इंडियन गवर्नमेंट बैक नेटवर्क है. दिस थिंग शायद यूपीआई में भी सबसे पहले ये शायद रुपए कार्ड ही चलते हैं.
रुपए ही था.
Right. So that's a difference.
So I think ये जो devaluation हुआ है banks and all का, तो the biggest reason I think one of it is also AI, right? So don't you think we should cover some of the AI developments?
Right. Let's cover this thing up. Yeah, enough markets. Let's discuss something which is causing a lot of boom, bust, you can say whatever, but chaos, panic, excitement, everything. Yes, we are talking about OpenAI recent launch day. They just launched GPT 5.6 in 3 variants. With one is called Soul, Terra, Luna. So they have launched ChatGPT 5.6. GPT 5.6 is their model. Soul is their flagship model, which they have launched to compete with Anthropic Fable, which is probably the Mythos front end for normal users. I don't think so Mythos is publicly available for everyone. So that's a new development. And to check this out, first of all, let's see their promo video. They have created a nice video. I would like to understand and show you what they are doing. Just give me a second. I will be playing it. Yeah, that's the video. Let's watch it.
This is Hokkaido, Japan. And this is Hiroki. Hiroki's been using GPT 5.6 to automate his farm. Wait, let's back up. Over the last few weeks, users around the world have been testing GPT 5.6 in the new ChatGPT. You already met Hiroki. We'll come back to him. And then there was the couple in New York who used GPT 5.6 to help run a cereal business from their dining room. And their son, Ellis.
Called cotton candy. Not trying to glaze myself, personally my favorite.
And then the mathematician in Poland, who used 5.6 to solve an unsolvable problem. But we'll get to all that. Let's start with Hiroki.
エンジニアじゃないんですけど、コーデックスを使って効率化していったりしてるのは、
He used 5.6 to automate the opening and closing of his greenhouse doors.
ビニールハウスの側面の換気をするために、ビニールを巻き上げるっていう作業をずっと手でやってたんですね。
5.6 taught him which gadgets he needed to purchase, how to wire a Raspberry Pi, and then how to install a motor. And it worked. Now, 5.6 is also helping people run small businesses. This is Jake. He's on the 3 Wishes team, and he's showing us how he prompts the model.
So I always start by saying, please set a goal for yourself to do this end to end. Please use historical launches as like a means to inform the dashboard itself. Use the 3 Wishes branding, especially the new branding. We have new boxes that we're using.
It is the most disorganized thought stream that I've ever seen to get this like incredibly amazing output.
5.6 is able to take that 5-minute brain dump and turn it into a plan. It can pull the relevant data and brand assets, and it can turn it into something polished and usable, like this dashboard, or a presentation, or a spreadsheet.
This feels like something you would normally think a big billion-dollar company could build. And you're like, we get this. I have my bespoke software system.
5.6 is also helping researchers make discoveries. Here's Bartosz again. He'd been working on the same math problem for 3 years. and he couldn't solve it. I decided, okay, I'm gonna try the new Codex 5.6. Codex was able to come up with a completely new idea, and it just helped us disprove the conjecture that we were trying to prove for these 3 years. Oh, I'm so excited of the discovery. 5.6 is able to take Bartosz's prompt and divide the computation into parallel work streams, with multiple agents solving different parts of the problem. And 5.6 is better at taking your prompt and following it through all the way to the end result. I'll let Hiroki explain.
過去のモデルは何回も何回もやり取りして改善してまた指示出しての繰り返しだったのが、新しいモデルは一発のプロンプトで自分のデータベースをコーデックスが読み取って勝手にいろんなツールを使いながら最終的なゴールまで自分で考えて実行してくれるので、これはすごく信じられない変化ですね。
You see, with 5.6, the work is no longer just staying on the screen. It's making a difference in the physical world. For everything from small businesses and farmers to the world's best mathematicians.
自分で魔法を見ているような気持ちになりました。
Pretty impressive use case. I think these users got it first, and they gave them to experiment with their lives, and we saw 3 different use cases. But which model do you use, like, for your use case?
I'm a Claude user. I'm not a Codex and ChatGPT user. Other than for normal cases, like, fix the text, fix the email. That's
fair enough. I think what ChatGPT was starting, when they started, they focused on consumer side more. Then Anthropic came, the enterprise side, and now ChatGPT is entering their markets. So to explain, like, Codex was the desktop app, the ChatGPT, OpenAI launched earlier to build softwares and all. So this was their transitioning from building things rather than just, chatting with a smart bot, or you can say. So apart from this, what they have done is they have also launched ChatGPT Work. So ChatGPT Work is nothing. They used to have Codex earlier, but Codex felt pretty, you can say, tech heavy kind of name or the workflow. So they have merged both things in one app, which is now just a ChatGPT desktop app. And you can enable the modes. So if you're a developer, you can use the Codex mode. If you are not developer or does not belong to tech field, you can transition it into ChatGPT Work. So that's how it is. And just want to ask Dhanesh, like, he's a Claude user. How much do you pay then? Because I can clearly see Claude is pretty expensive.
Yeah, so like even as the chart is showing that the API cost in Claude is pretty high compared to ChatGPT, but I think for a lot of finance stuff, the Excel plugins and even Claude Code, Claude is actually much better, like especially for Excel usage. Like the kind of output that it gives in finance in Excel is pretty good. And also I think the way the outputs of reports and built-in skills of Claude are, which are more helpful for employed people.
And just to break this down, what's happening here. So on the x-axis, it's the API cost. So that's the amount of money you pay to execute certain operation. And on the y-axis, it's a score. So how do you evaluate a model? On y-axis title, you can see agent's last exam. So y-axis is basically showing a benchmark. So there are certain companies which design these benchmarks. So benchmark is nothing but a black box of question which will be thrown onto models, and then we will be evaluating their scores, like how well they did in this exam. So on the y-axis, you are seeing that score. On the x-axis, you can see the cost of doing that operation. So the orange line is the Claude Opus 4.8, and they have also, and this maroon color dot you can spot somewhere is Claude Fable 5, which is the Claude most advanced model at the moment. And the dark blue line is ChatGPT, this GPT 5.6 Soul model, which I said is their most advanced. So you can clearly see Claude topmost model is expensive. It's delivering intelligence. Obviously, these scores varies from various benchmarks. So there are plenty of benchmarks. So, but this GPT 5.6 is beating them on the cost, and that's been the trend at the moment. And would like to add certain more thing to prove this thing. This new development also happened. Mark Zuckerberg, the founder of Facebook, and you can say at the moment they hold WhatsApp, Instagram, the old school Facebook, and he tweeted after 3 odd years that they are releasing Muse Spark 1.1 model, a strong agentic encoding model at a very low price. Now, I have highlighted this thing because this is their first model, the AI model, and they are not focusing on building the most intelligent model at the moment. They are competing on pricing, as we discovered from those curves at the moment. So just to explain how expensive it is and how cheap this is, the Spark 1.1 model costs $1.25 for 1 million tokens. So that's the amount it charges you for giving 1 million tokens input. For same operation, Claude Fable 5 model charges $10. And GPT 5.6 Soul, which is their most advanced model, it charges $5. So we can clearly see how expensive this is. And that's been the trend. And we saw one tweet. You can go through this.
So basically, Claude is like the 5-star hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and which is just expensive because of maybe brand value. And now ChatGPT is coming with a 4-star hotel with all the amenities of a 5-star hotel.
Right. It is making sense that you can clearly see. So this was certain benchmark, cursor bench, which is here. So the scores are 70% and 67%. So these are the accurate scores. Per task cost for GPT model is $5. And the per task cost for Fable, which is Anthropic most advanced model, is $17. So you can see it's a trade-off. You can give 3% to Fable. Okay, you are most intelligent. That's fine. But we are doing the same operation at 1/3 cost. So that's a thing. So that's a trend. Everybody is just competing on cost. Like
I think the new SIP is also into AI, right? Everyone is having their max plans, and I think everyone I know personally is finally taking up paid plans and not just maximizing on the free plan. So it's very important to find the right balance between cost and the usage, because I've heard stories like people going crazy and spending hundreds of dollars on tokens, which is quite crazy.
Yeah, 100,000. I think so companies used to give tokens to their employees, and they are just burning for sake of it. I mean, they have to give answer to the board, like, how are you implementing AI in your business? So now what companies do, usually they direct to employees, like, we need to implement AI in our business. Like, we need to be AI first company. And right, so many companies just pivoted from some other industry to AI. And that's been the case. And they exhausted their annual limit in 2-3 months or something, the budget which was allocated to them.
I think it's the same thing, right? You have to optimize your spends, like we discussed in the credit card section. You have to optimize your token spends now in this new age world.
And it's just not about how user use it. It's about how now, as we said, Mark just came and he said, we are offering at a very low price. So I think these companies are also understanding this thing, because there is a thing, there is a bottleneck case here. Like, I would like to explain it in a manner. Let's assume Anthropic is working on a new model. So to build new model, they have to allocate their resources, which is the computation. Basically, they have limited compute power, right? They have to allocate certain compute power to train a new model. And at the same time, they have to allocate some portion of that compute power to the ongoing users. Let's assume you have subscribed to Claude, right? So if you focus a lot on making gains, then you lag on that side. Like, you cannot allocate to build, Claude 5 or, Claude 7. So that's the bottleneck. And same goes for the GPT. So ChatGPT or OpenAI, right? So these guys are struggling to find balance in how to allocate that computation power which they have. And that's the reason why we are seeing those shortages and, memory stocks blowing up, those kind of cases. And one more thing, this was the update, like after that tweet from Mark Zuckerberg. In last 5 days, Meta Platforms is up 30%. Meta is doing their first entry because all those companies like Google got their Gemini. Google also on certain stake in Anthropic. So that's been the case.
Right. But yeah,
just to add on one more thing. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Even non-tech folks have to get used to, the AI world very fast, because I think to keep up on these developments is pretty tricky, and we all have to, be very careful, because I think going forward, these token costs are going to increase. Right now, because of the competition, I think the pricing is still like they're burning a lot of money, investor money also. So
right.
I think it's early, like earlier the better. You try to optimize your usage and smart usage instead of just burning tokens just because it's free.
I have a different opinion in this case. Like you are right about one thing, probably, like your thesis. You need to learn and everything. I believe the cost will probably go down. The thing is, these labs will somehow, they need to find it, right? They cannot keep it expensive all the way. They cannot just spend their resources in doing giant launch day. At some point, they need to make profits. And at the same time, China is coming up with cheaper model. Like Meta can afford, to burn their cash and offering, they have huge distribution, right? So they can build their, you can say, a trade-off between intelligence and cost. But I believe world will settle at a low price tokens or something. China will thread these Anthropic and all, because I can clearly see what OpenAI just did with these new models, offering similar kind of intelligence at a lower cost, is already shaking what Anthropic is doing. Like, okay, you can be that 5-star hotel, but how long can you sustain? So they need to think about that thing.
Fair point.
Yeah, and just to show you one more thing. So ChatGPT also launched one thing, which is called ChatGPT Live. So, you guys must be having ChatGPT app on your mobile phones. At the moment, it was some chatbot kind of thing, but they have introduced this audio mode, which is very close to real time. It's not like Siri. So just to show the demonstration. So I will be asking this. We'll be showing this. Yeah, that's the ChatGPT app. Anyways, yeah, I will be. Explain IPO to 20-year-old kid in Delhi.
So imagine your favorite cafe in Delhi. It's run by a small group of owners, but now they want to expand into a big chain, maybe across India. So
okay. Explain it to 10-year-old kid studying in school.
Sure. So imagine your friend has a super popular toy shop, but he wants to open a bunch more. He doesn't have enough money though, so he says, hey, you want to buy a small piece of my shop? That piece is a share.
Explain it to 5-year-old kid. Explain the concept of IPO to 5-year-old kid.
So imagine you baked one big cake. Now, all the kids in the neighborhood want to taste your cake. So you cut it into lots of little slices.
Cool.
And you say,
all right, fine. 5-year-old kid got it. Now explain it to someone who comes from Jalandhar and did schooling in Punjabi language. He's 20-year-old.
समझ लो एक कंपनी है जो बहुत बड़ी बनना चाहती है. उसको पैसा चाहिए ग्रोथ के लिए. तो वो कहती है.
Well, I said Punjabi language.
हाँ, समझो एक कंपनी है ਜਿਹਦੀ ਹੋਰ ਵੱਡੀ ਹੋਣ ਦੀ ਸੋਚ ਹੈ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੈਸਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਹੋਰ ਦੁਕਾਨਾਂ ਖੋਲ ਸਕਣ.
Explain it to my friend Dhanesh. who just studied Marathi and he is 25-year-old.
समजा असा एक कंपनी आहे तिला मोठी परिचय आहे त्यांना पैसा हवा असतो म्हणून ते लोकांना सांगतात तुम्ही आमच्या
Cool, thank you, we got it. So yeah, that's brilliant. Like I like
Brilliant,
this
yeah.
thing.
I think it's going to get me as a customer. That was that good.
And the thing is, I made notes for all this show. It was just a conversation with ChatGPT Live. Like it was so real time. Like if you are stuck at something, you want to know in depth about whatever you're gonna discuss, right? It was too good.
So I think the other threat that AI is posing is on another topic, right? Which has been going trending. And I think it's my favorite segment of the show, which is the clown move. Our next topic is
All right. So education and clown, what's happening here?
I mean, it's the hottest topic right now, and we all know, right? Schools are by law told to be run on a non-profit model, right? And as you can see, like our friend Akanksha has been tweeting about how PE funds are investing in the education sector via schools. And
Okay.
this week, KKR backed Lighthouse bought Pathways from in Gurgaon for about 1500 crore, and Vitruvine is buying this company called K12, which is Orchid School, at roughly 7100 crore valuation, and the seller, which is Peak 15, is selling at around 12x return. So education has been made into a business.
Well, wasn't this supposed to be non-text kind of structure? And there's a loophole. So from whatever I understand, the loophole to make money from school is you make a holding company, and that holding company is actually offering a lot of services to the school. And this company is like a service wrapper. So you can, in this umbrella, you can open 5 companies. So one will be providing bus to school, uniform, or you can say dresses, uniform dresses, notebooks, books, some tech platform, or you can say furniture, so many things, right? And this holding company book gains and make money as this school grows, while on paper, this school is non-profitable business. So I think those Lighthouse, the fund you mentioned, probably bought stake in this service wrapper, right?
So
That
they
could be the-
basically bought the stake in the manager of the school in a way. So they buy it one level above, and it's like just a bypass entity in a way. And
It's just another umbrella.
and it makes sense, right, for such funds to enter the education system, because I think India has the largest school age population. Around, I think, 125 million kids are between the age 2 to 6. And the education business, like you can call it a business now, is superb for them because it covers 3 major things, right? It has predictable fees. Your fees are fixed every year. It is recession proof. It's like recession is there or not, everyone's going to spend on education. And the third thing, which is the most important right now, is parents are willing to pay any amount, because it has become a status symbol in today's time that my son or my daughter is going to this school, he's studying in IB board, and we're going to Dhirubhai Ambani school. So it's a very big status symbol now. What are your thoughts on the
Fair
status
enough.
symbol part?
Look, from where I have done education, my 12th standard fee, it was a CBSE school. It used to cost somewhere around 2,400 per month. That's what I'm talking. And from 5th standard to 10th standard, I was on some 50% off scholarship or something. So that's the case. But I get your point. If we think from a business perspective, schools are brilliant, sticky subscription business. Like you enroll your kid in 1st standard, now this kid will be generating 12 years revenue. There will be no missing payments, no losses or as such. Like that's your customer, you can say that kid is your customer or their parents are the customer who will be, paying you for 12 odd years.
Right. And I think the recent deal that is done, which is Pathways Gurgaon, is just one campus, 1,600 students, and has a average fee of nearly 10 lakh a year. And the EBITDA, which is the operating profit, is 110 crore. And now it is sold at 13 times that earning. So it is priced like a tech company in a way. That, it's a subscription business. 1,600 students are giving 10 lakhs a year.
And that's why I said, like, it's a very sticky subscription business. Schools are clearly subscription business of highest order. I think if I have to rank something beyond this in terms of stickiness, it will be a dictatorship where you tell your people you cannot leave the country and now you have to do work for my country, obviously, because if you are young, you will be producing cash flow for that dictator, right? So schools are probably second ranked. I'm not saying it's a dictatorship, but clearly it's making money for people who are investing. And just to dig deeper, So
I think this is a very key element because we have seen the new trend, right? Double income, no kids. And I think one of the key factors is the rising costs, and especially education cost in metro cities like Mumbai. The costs have been through the roof now. Like the times we studied just 8 to 10 years back, and now has drastically increased because of new syllabus and new boards like IB and international boards that people want to do. So like we can see, I think, Sumit, you want to break down this cost that is there?
Sure. It's about the same Pathways Gurgaon school. And so this graphic is actually telling, let's assume you have a kid and you want to enroll him in this school. So for 3 years, you will be paying somewhere around 23 lakhs. For next 8 years, 1 crore. For grade 9th and 10th, it will be 48 lakhs. And for last 2 classes, it will be 67 lakhs. And we are assuming 6% inflation, which is the fairest number we can imagine. Okay, inflation is not 6%. It's just from the books of RBI and all, right, from the government. So the total will be 2.5 crore just for 12th standard.
My God. And you spend 2,500.
Yeah, I mean, even if I have to, like, okay, let's do the calculation, 25, even if I assume for every month my fees was 2,000, right? So how many years I've studied? Like 12 years. So per year it will be what, 2024, somewhere close to what, 3 odd lakhs. That's it. 3 lakhs for my entire schooling education. That was what's your maths? Like how much you paid, like your parents paid for 12th standard education?
So I think 12th standard in my case was a bit on the expensive side because I did ISC board instead of the college HSC board. So we ended up paying upwards of 3 lakh for 2 years.
3 lakhs for 2 years. So monthly it is what? More than 10,000.
Yeah.
Easily. 5-6 times. That's pretty expensive. Cool. So I think ICSE board is like that 4-star hotel. IB is the 5-star hotel. Is that like
IB is the 5-star hotel now.
Okay, then we have CBSE. People like me. Okay, fine. Yeah. So that the graphic which we showed you was calculated from this thing. These are the current fee of. Just to break this down, the current fee structure of Pathways Gurgaon School is for pre-nursery and KG classes, 7 lakh per year. For grade 1st to 8th, 9 lakh per year. That's not package, that's the fee of a student, annual fee. For grade 9 to 10th, 12 lakh per year. For 11th and 12th standard, 15 lakh per year. And in 2046, which we have done calculation here, again, basic 6% inflation. For standard 11th and 12th, it will be 49 lakhs.
Wow.
For 2 classes, 49 lakhs, which is expensive than the friend, one of my friend who studied in most expensive school, which is Dhanesh actually. He paid 3 lakhs, right? Which is still 80% off from this current number. I'm talking about current number, which is 15 lakh, not even 2046.
And this is like, I think, post MBA salary of many people. So yeah, the businesses.
Just to clear it up again, that's not salary package or CTC. It's a fee, 1 year fee.
So I think that's where the headline inflation numbers and all hide these real costs that are there. Like, and if you see, these PE funds are actually tapping into the right segments. Like education is now one. The second is healthcare. Both of them, the costs are increasing heavily, and they are almost permanent recession-proof businesses.
Nobody asks for discount on medicine, right?
Even for school fees. In fact, you pay more donation to get into better schools.
Right. Even in case of hospitals, when you are injured or suffering from something, you don't say to doctor, okay, what's the offer? Like, which credit card can I use to get certain offer? That's not the case. And those guys are also not doing some, you can say sales or, we are offering 25% discount to acquire customers. Nothing like that. But what do you think? Like, why such schools are priced so higher? Like, what's the case here?
It's simple, right? You have guaranteed cash flows. It's a full cash flow business, right? And
no, I'm talking about like, I get it from the business side we have discussed. Let's assume somebody is studying in the school, like what he's getting out of it, what she is getting out of it. I think school is... Like, why parents are paying such amount? That's what I want to ask.
It's, I think in Mumbai at least, it's become more of a status symbol and the kind of network you are around. Like the kind of children you will meet will be of those, you could say high class, high wealthy families who are ready to spend, like you can see years later, probably 50 lakhs a year for school. So you will be in kind of networks and classes where there will be people who can afford that level of education. And it's more of a status symbol, right? You have heard people saying, flexing, the first thing they flex is, what education they've done and from where.
Right.
So the status symbol, you could call it like, everyone has shifted their luxury tag from cars to schools and education and colleges. Like, मैं कौन सी गाड़ी चलाता हूँ? No, it's shifted to तुम कौन से school गए? IB board, HSC board, SSC board. So yeah.
And I think this analogy is right. It's somewhat similar to, let's assume you will be going out on a date tomorrow. You will be looking for a premium cafe. It's more of a separation kind of a thing. Like you are separating the crowd. Considering India, is most populous country in the world. So these are the ways you try to filter out the crowd probably and get into the, upper segment, you can say, in terms of money or something. Because any cafe which is, charging you 3,000, 4,000 for two, I don't think so they are adding such amount of, you can say, ingredients or those kind of things in food. It's more about the ambience and that filter effect. Like it is able to separate you from that crowd you don't want to engage with. So you are in premium kind of a thing. It's that kind of thing, I think.
So I think that's what these PE funds are betting on, right? Pricing power is immense. Like there will be a luxury segment of schools and they could probably price 2x of this and it'll still go full, right? And that is excluding the donations and the other stuff that people give to get into those schools because the seats are limited.
Yeah, it's not a digital kind of a thing that you can just scale by increasing your digital infra, right? So I think clearly most sticky business. Cool. I think let's move on to the next segment. Yeah, the number of the weekend is $397 billion. And if you think this is some GDP or those kind of things, no, this is the amount of cash Berkshire Hathaway holds on their balance sheet or cash equivalent kind of stuff. They are sitting on cash, they are increasing it, bull market is going on. But this company, I mean, just to introduce this company to people who don't know, this is the company which was acquired by Warren Buffett and he managed it. And at the moment, they are known for their value investing philosophy and ways of investing, more of a defensive kind of investing. So this company is sitting on $397 billion cash. And if you don't know how much cash this is, America got S&P 500 top most companies, and they can buy 474 companies out of that index. That's the amount of cash, but they are sitting on cash. They are not using it. I don't know what they are thinking, or what's your take on this?
So I think the first question that actually struck me when I was doing the research for this is that the biggest problem for sitting in cash in such huge amounts is that what do you pray for every morning? Like, do you want the markets to go down because you have cash, or do you want the markets to go up because you have major investments into the market? So it can get very confusing for the manager as well as God, right? What do you want to do?
But like Berkshire got cult following. They don't question underperformance and all. The stock has a history of underperforming benchmark for 5 to 7 years, even continuously. But it's just, I think.
But yeah, but what do they hope for? What do they hope for? Like market going up or going down in such cases?
I think the cult following of Berkshire Hathaway is at such level that at the moment it is also a status symbol. Like, well, can you afford one share of Berkshire Hathaway? Like, they never did split and all. And also, I don't think so. A lot of young people are investing into this company, whoever are shareholders. If we just do average age analysis, it will be people. I mean, Berkshire Hathaway delivered great returns to those shareholders. So those are already rich. Now it's more of a, I think most of the shareholder will be older than 60, 65, 70. So those guys are done. Like, they are just holding it for fun. Now it's more of a status symbol. Like, yeah, we are shareholder of this company. It's defensive. It's not high volatile, obviously. So that suits their personality at such age. So, and probably in the world, this is the company where shareholder has most trust. I don't know whether they perform or not, but on trust level, yeah. This
because
is
I think they're holding cash on behalf of the shareholders. So, but on a serious note, like you mentioned, right, it's larger. Like, it can buy around 474 out of the 500 companies, and it's larger than the likes of Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Bank of America of the world in terms of market capitalization. Just the cash reserve. So,
Right.
don't you think, is it like, what are thoughts on it being? Is it struggling because it has become so huge that it is not able to find enough deals, like big deals, to put their money in?
I think it becomes really hard. Like, one need to understand the business of Berkshire Hathaway. So it's not a mutual fund kind of a company. It's an insurance company. So whatever, insurance you buy, you pay a certain premium. Now that premium needs to be invested somewhere. It's that kind of business. And these guys are known for allocating that premium in a smarter way. I mean, that's been the case for last 40 odd years, 40, 50 years. It's reflected in their stock price also. But at such level, I mean, you cannot play every single move. And one more thing, honestly, the performance of this Berkshire Hathaway company would have been worse. It's just somehow Warren Buffett bought what? Apple in 2015 or something. And I will cover it up. Just allow me a second. How much they hold right now? Yeah, 20% of their allocation is in Apple only. Apart from that, they don't really know about tech and all. And we get it. Like, Warren Buffett is older than 95. I think he's 95. So they also did not participate in that IT boom in the late 90s. It was pretty stupid to see. But I think when crash happened, these shareholders, the cult following they clapped for them. You saved us from this disaster. But at the moment, I mean, they are not participating in this AI rally also, just sitting on cash. I don't know what they are thinking. And they are raising cash from, you can see, 2021 itself. It's at the highest level right now.
And I think the markets have gone up significantly in the US, I think, since they have been majorly in cash. So
yeah. I mean, S&P 500 is close to 8,000 levels now. So That's what I said. These guys would have underperformed big time if that Apple concentrated bet wouldn't have played in their favor. At peak time, Berkshire Hathaway was holding 40% of their portfolio in just Apple. So they do some weird things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. At the moment, it's looking pretty foolish. Let's see how it looks later on.
Yeah, I think the shareholders want to have that "maine bola tha" moment. It's going to crash.
It's like that old meme. You plan for weekend. Some people plan for months. Some people plan for years. And then there is a meme. Our plans are measured in decades. So it's that kind of company probably.
Yeah. Let's see. Interesting. Like they've been missing out on the entire AI and memory chip boom and betting on energy stocks. That there's an
Right.
oil and gas crisis. So again, fits their style, and even the new CEO has been following Warren Buffett's steps. So yeah, we'll know it.
I can tell you one more story around it. There's a guy in USA, a fund manager, Mr. Pabrai. He was holding 80. He follows Warren Buffett philosophy in investing and value investing and all. He got a great book. I think it's Dhando Investor. Great for storytelling. I don't know whether it's work or not. I read it. So the story goes like this. I think in 2023, he was holding 80% of his portfolio in one stock. The stock is Micron. We covered it earlier, right? That's 2023. So he was holding in 80% of his portfolio in Micron. And just to tell you, from 2023, Micron has gone up 10 times. And he sold it. That's the issue. He sold it before it went 10x. And that's the issue when you do, such weird, or you can say courageous kind of thing. 80% of your portfolio in one stock. Obviously, it takes courage to do this thing. But that's the case. I mean, if he would have just held it for a while, just imagine 80% of your portfolio going 10x. People celebrate. I mean, even celebrity fund managers celebrate. Yeah, we bought that stock. It went 10x. We were holding 2% stake, 1% stake. Celebration even for 2x. It delivered 100% return. How much were you holding? Yeah, we were holding just 2%. But that would have been some story, more of a Wall Street movie kind of story, if it would have happened, obviously.
Right. But I think we also have a similar story in India, don't you think? That that has made a lot of money, and people have made like 4-5x in this entire new theme and story that is there.
Right.
And I think that is our next special section that we have.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So we are talking about the new disruption in a way that is there, and which has picked up recently. That is the EV adoption across two-wheelers as well as four-wheelers. So as you can see here, 2026 has been blockbuster for India EV, where there has been almost 100% growth year on year, like June 2026 versus June 2025. And because of the new backlash of the E20 fuel and ethanol blending, that's been a crazy tailwind behind the adoption of EV vehicles, which was lacking in the initial years of getting the new cars and push from the government as well through incentives.
And just to add things on this, first of all, I would like to thank you everyone for joining tonight. We just crossed 600 number for the stream on a night when again Vaibhav Suryavanshi is playing a T20 game. I don't know. I didn't see it. I hope he's playing. Yeah. So adding on to EV. Yeah. Right. This E20, E10, E25 is adding a lot of confusion to the people, what they want to buy. And EV is probably the beneficiary of it. People are done with this thing, buying this petrol, which is, with 20% ethanol and still not getting discount. Cars getting their some fuel pump or those kind of things getting damaged due to this fuel, and nobody is taking accountability for it. Everybody just trying to cover it up, whatever is happening. But EV is one thing where there is no such issue. That's why the sales are booming here in this case. Apart from that, would love to add.
Why don't you own an EV?
Look, I'm the kind of guy who thinks of cars and those kind of things as just a mechanism for taking you from one place to another. So my old car is working pretty fine at the moment. I'm not into cars or those kind of things. So at the moment, and I own a diesel car. So mark safe from these E20 and E25 things at the moment.
Yeah, but you can see, like, other than you, probably other people have been adopting EV a lot across two-wheelers and four-wheelers, and the share is, like, I think across all the vehicles, it's crossed 7% of market share of the total percentage of market share against the IC engine. So it's just begun the story, and I think the tailwinds that government was trying to add through incentives and other ways, the real reason of the boom has actually been this E20 fuel and ethanol blending, where people have just been frustrated and decided to finally take the step. And we were actually early adopters of EV. We got the Tata Nexon EV earlier, and we also got the Creta EV. So our experience has been great.
How's the infra for EV? I mean, I think you can charge it at home also. That's one thing, but overall infra, like,
I think that's the biggest, the counterpoint against EV. Like, at home charging, people need to have a parking. That's the first thing. In Mumbai, a city like Mumbai, there's no space, and people buy flats without parking, and you cannot charge your car at home if there's no parking. So that is first thing. Second is public charging infra is growing, but it is not at the level that is there abroad. Like, I think we have around 30,000 charging points across India. And if you compare it to the likes of Vietnam and China, where they have 1.5 lakh in Vietnam and almost 40 lakh in China. So we are lacking on that. And we cannot win that EV war without, mass adoption of these charging stations and the infrastructure that is there. But it has been improving a lot. Like, we have done long 1,000-kilometer plus road trips now on EV. So it has improved a lot from before.
No, but the car you own, let's say I charge it full, how much can you drive in one go?
So the first version that we bought of Tata Nexon, it used to work only for 150-200 kilometers. But now the Creta EV is upwards of 350-400 kilometers.
And what happens post that? Let's assume we are plugging it into charging station. How much time it takes to again, have this same capacity again?
So the fast charger takes around 30 minutes for full charge, 30 to 50 minutes, depends on the kilowatt hour that is there. And the home charger that we use, full charges in 5 hours.
Okay, so it's like you go to office, come home, sleep and charge your car. And 400 kilometer on a EV, it's like you start at 8 o'clock, you reach some restaurant probably, you have your meal, you get your car charged up if infra is there, then again drive for 400 kilometer or something, then again have your meal. So 400 seems like a decent range if things goes this way.
People get they overanalyze the range part, because I think EV is mainly for city drive, and the range, if you have more than 150 kilometers, you're not driving that much in a day, right, in the city. So it's not too much of an issue. But of course, if you take it to long range road trips, that could be an issue. But again, I took for one, and we had no issues in at least Maharashtra and Goa, where there was a lot of charging infrastructure.
Cool. Just want to break down one thing here, like on EV side or other vehicle side. We got this data from Vahan. The data is about like how's the market share for various vehicles at the moment. So in passenger vehicle EV, it's 8%. So usual people owning EV, that's around 8%. Then CNG is 24%, again passenger vehicles. Hybrids 8%. Then we have petrol and diesel vehicles, it's 40%. Then EV two-wheeler share is close to 11%. So that's the number at the moment in India's case. And just to show you one more thing, yeah, Tata is leading in terms of EV passenger car. That's their
I think the leaders are Tata and Mahindra, where Tata's playing on volume and Mahindra's playing on value, which is the amount per car that they're charging. So they're selling lesser cars, but I think on sale level it crosses Tata because they're selling almost at 2x of what Tata sells. Their Nexon, the XCV and BE6 is upwards of 20 lakh, and the Tata Tiago and Tata Nexon are below 15 lakh.
And that's a good number. Like Tata was almost dead. I think 6-7 years ago, it used to be just Maruti and all. But Tata made a great comeback, not just EV, but usual cars and all. Even right now, I think they did Sierra or some car.
Right,
These
but
guys
those
have
haven't
launched
been
a lot
working
of.
too well. I think Nexon was the early mover advantage for Tata in EV, where you could see that was the main hit car since years. So
They got Tiago EV also, I think,
yes,
in a
and
hatchback
one
car.
other tailwind is actually EV taxis because it's very cost efficient for them. So if you see, like VinFast has been launching their services in India after Blue Smart that was there earlier. So that has also been a very big market for them.
And I think I have a point, like the entry of VinFast in Indian markets is brilliantly timed. The thing is, Uber we've actually kicked off in 2016 to 2018. Like that was the peak era of Uber. You know, drivers were making more than lakh using incentives and a bunch of other things. Riders were getting free coupons and all. The problem is now if you book Uber or Ola, the cars are literally done. Like 8 years effect, right? Not
Yeah.
clean enough, pretty old. And VinFast is entering with their superbly looking car, superb car, electric vehicle in 2026, right? So that's a fresh air we are getting in those old cars of Uber and Ola. So that's brilliant entry if you think from a consumer point of view.
But yeah, I think more people are getting aware that it's not a problem, the charging, which is the main hindrance for people, right? Everyone wonders ki main EV le lo, but charging either karunga. So that has to be one issue that we solve, and probably it'll get quicker. Probably 10 minutes or 15 minutes full charge. That's the future, I think.
But like, what do you think of that environmental concern?
I
Do
mean,
you
in
buy the
India,
story that
EV,
EI reduce pollution and all?
no, because EV, the electricity is usually from the coal plants, right, in India. So the
Right. So
environmental
it's
concern,
like,
I think, is
yeah,
uh,
but EV does get sold in a manner that it reduces your pollution or those kind of thing. It's eco-friendly or that. But the thing with EV is you are charging it with electricity in India. Electricity is still made up by thermal plants and all. So if you are using EV, you may not see pollution here. You may feel you are contributing to environment or something, but the pollution is somewhere else. The solution to this is actually using solar energy or those kind of things for producing electricity in the grids
right.
of India. At the moment, I was watching a number like for entire power generation in India, it's just 29% come from clean fuel or solar energy or wind energy, those kind of things. For countries like Finland and Norway, it's close to 100% now. Even in USA, it's close to 40%. Canada is also high. Brazil is also high. So, and we have the climate, like we receive sunlight for most of the time across the country. So I think solar
Yeah.
energy or
But again, that will
wind
reduce the
energy.
cost further because it's already pretty low. I think it's 1 to 2 rupees per kilometer in EV.
Right. I mean, I'm thinking from the pollution perspective also because I know what's going to happen in Delhi after 3 months, right? 3-4 months. So you can kick this pollution out of Delhi if EV solves it, but it is again somewhere else, right? So to solve on a grid level, I think India needs to work on those, clean fuel, clean energy resources. We are lagging. We are just producing 29% of our entire power just from cleaner alternative energy sources. That thing
Right.
can be fixed for sure. That's what I think.
But I think the EV, if someone's buying it it has to be only from the cost perspective and not from environmental and other perspectives, because your aim has to be running the car as much as possible, putting in the kilometers, so the math makes sense, as the resale value is not that high, and because of outdatation and all, the prices fall pretty fast. So the more you maximize on kilometer saving, the better it is.
Yeah, in fact, I was watching this thing. There is a case study, like how much money do you save in comparison to petrol. So if there is EV and on 1 kilowatt hour it runs 6 kilometer, and if we consider unit price in case of electricity 8 rupee, so your running cost is 1.33 rupee per kilometer. And petrol car, let's assume it runs 15 kilometer, that's a mileage on per liter. Petrol is now 100 rupee per liter. The running energy cost is 6 rupees. So that's 5 times. So petrol car is 5 times expensive than EV. We have not considered few costs here, which is battery depreciation and maintenance of EV, which could be higher, I think. But
Yes,
running
but
cost
again,
is
15 kilometers per liter is also a higher range. Like in cities like Mumbai, it's usually 7 to 8. So there the cost is even more beneficial for EV.
right. And at 12,000 kilometer per year, you save 64,000 rupee. If you are driving 1,000 kilometer per month, basically, so you are saving close to 60,000 rupee every year. That's the number.
So I think in our calculation, we do it simply, right? That our driver cost is almost free because of EV. Like we save on enough, we do enough kilometers that our driver cost becomes free. So that was the math, and also the government incentive that was there for 2.5 lakhs. So that actually adds to the cost benefit here.
And let's see I think this trend gonna grow only considering that fuel thing. And in fact, the number we have just assumed that 15 kilometer per liter. After this ethanol blending fuel and all this comes into the picture, the mileage gonna drop further more. People are reporting they are seeing 10% drop in their mileage, and I'm not even talking about what's happening with their engines and all that, those maintenance costs. So in that sense, if we can build great infra, I will be buying EV for sure.
Yeah. So I think we could also talk about one of the biggest beneficiaries of the EV revolution. That is Ather Energy. So if you see, Ather Energy has been almost 4x since IPO now,
Right.
and it has benefited the two-wheeler EV industries, not just the four-wheelers that are causing the havoc in the auto industry. In fact, the two-wheelers have been doing it more, and the story is like it listed around, I think, 11,000 to 12,000 crore, while its main competitor Ola was at around 35,000 crore, almost 3x of what Ather was. And just, I think, 1 year after listing, Ather is at 45,000 crore valuation and Ola is at 18,000 crore, which is like, it shows how crazy the growth of Ather has been and the disruption it has caused.
And not just Ether, like, have you observed when you order from Blinkit and Swiggy, the delivery guys are using some modification kind of two-wheelers, which are also EV.
Yes.
So they work on daily rentals or something.
Yulu, the Yulu bikes.
Not just Yulu. I mean, so many brands are there, and very lightweight. Speed is usually 30 kilometer per hour. I think that's the max speed they can do. And innovation is just not happening at Ether level. Like Ether serves to the consumers, like people like you, right? But this thing, so many delivery guys, due to Swiggy, Blinkit, Zomato, and all, entire fleet of delivery guys is also using EV bikes. It is just not visible in some listed name or something. Right. But there are manufacturers or maybe assemblers who get it from various countries and offering here to these guys.
I think China has been betting huge on the EV game, and for years, again, they have the early mover advantage there as well for the battery, the infrastructure, and they have crazy solar power to provide energy for charging stations, and even almost like full control of the lithium ion supply that is there for the batteries. So we can also probably follow their footpaths, and you can see how BYD and other companies have taken over the world like by shock, how fast they are
Right.
growing.
I think the BYD is also available in India, and
Yes.
they are having some nice, good-looking supercar kind of a. They are good with design. I don't know what's their range and all, but looks really good on the road.
And earlier people were thinking, just for cost, right? We were talking that EV is beneficial, but BMW and Mercedes are selling out their EV cars, and it's taking over diesel cars sales for BMW and Mercedes. So it's not just the lower segment of consumers that are buying the cars, but also the ultra luxury and luxury cars that are coming in EV and being sold out, which is surprising.
I think this happened. One of those car manufacturer, luxury car manufacturer, premium car manufacturer, declared that they will be doing EV thing now, and their shares dropped. Like
Yeah, Ferrari. It was Ferrari. Ferrari launched the EV car, and their shares had dropped.
Because people have this fascination with these companies. Like it's more of a it's like how expensive wallets are, like old school, or wines, like champagne.
But
like
what do you think of people buying luxury EV cars like a BMW EV or a Mercedes EV? Like, why would you buy that? Like, why would you want to have the pain of charging and all? And cost is not an issue for you, right? If you're buying a Mercedes or 1 crore EV.
Right. I don't know, like what sort of features. I will be telling you this probably after buying one. That's my answer to this question. Cool. I think we clocked 672 users on Saturday night. That's brilliant. And we got one comment for you. Good to see Ace Investor Dhanesh. And thank you very much, everyone who have been on 2-hour long live stream. And it's probably the longest one we have ever did. Our usual
I think
is
the
1 hour 30 minutes.
Was also 675.
Yeah, right. So, and like, even if right now someone is watching this live, we would like to have your questions or feedbacks from your end, and we can do this at a quicker pace right now. We are done with all the stories and whatever we were covering, right?
And any person you would like us to have as a guest next time? Like we had credit cards this time, we had Tejas and also Shreyas, which was like we covered VC stuff and also protein.
Right.
So if any suggestions, we can also reach out to them.
But at the moment, we're gonna wait. There is some feedback from our viewers or suggestions or anything, even if you want to ask right now, we will be taking it. Just one additional fact I want to tell everyone, if people are curious about it, the entire production of India Money Live just runs on
4 people.
Just runs on Claude and Codex. Yeah. So that's the team at the moment. Whatever you're seeing, these overlays, insights, graphics. So that's a shout out to OpenAI and Anthropic from our side.
So you were against SIP, but you're doing a $20 SIP for ChatGPT.
Right. We could be doing $100 when we will be adding more features or building something more.
I don't think we have questions because I think people are out partying and it's Saturday night, 7 p.m.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's wrap it up then. Thank you very much. The number is now 683. Wow. Great number. I think highest number on our live stream. Thank you again for joining it on Saturday night, taking out your time and asking questions, giving us feedbacks. Please keep doing it. Do share your feedback on our X DM also. It goes with a handle @India Money Live. We will see you next weekend from here on. Good night.
And we are open for any guest suggestions. And if anyone wants to come as guest, you can just DM us anytime.
Cool. All right. Have a good weekend, everyone.
Yes. Good night, guys.